Hi, this is Greg Gomez with 100KMLM.com, the online resource dedicated to helping you learn the tips and tricks you need to add as many as 20 to 30 people a week in your current network marketing business. I want to welcome you back to this, and today, folks, I'm going to cover a question that I get every day, all day, from newbie network marketers, established network marketers, anybody who's truly wanting to be successful in the industry. And the question goes something like this. Greg, where do I find lists of people who are truly motivated and interested in getting started in a network marketing business? I don't want to waste time with folks who are not interested. I only want people that are going to buy, basically. That would be a great list. Unfortunately, it doesn't really exist. There are two ways that you can get effective leads to be able to grow your business. The first of which, and the one that I most recommend, is that you do your own lead generation. Unfortunately, because of the time requirement, education that you're going to need to do that, that can get very costly very quickly, and more importantly, we don't have the time to cover on how to do that correctly here. The second and the quickest way for you to be able to get leads, and the one that I'd recommend all networkers start with, is buying leads from list brokers, typically list brokers. There's another way you can get them, which is from co-op campaigns, which we'll go into here in just a minute. I don't necessarily recommend, but focusing on brokers right now, and why I want you to be aware of what the broker is going to sell you is for this reason. They're going to tell you, our leads are the best, they're fresh, they're double opt-in, they're phone confirmed, they're qualified, they're double interviewed, and they're going to be anywhere between $3 to $5, sometimes up to $18 and $25 a piece. All right. Now, and they're always going to try to tell you that their leads are the best in the industry. Now, here's the reality. All right, lean in. This is very important. In fact, write this down. All MLM opportunity-seeking leads suck. Okay, write it down. Let me make sure this is absolutely clear. All of them, without fail, 100%, every single time, they're terrible, and there's no reason for you to spend anywhere between $3 to $5 or more. In fact, if you are doing that currently, stop immediately. Okay, and here's the biggest reasons why. There's three major reasons why these leads are terrible. The first is the way that they're generated. So write down, number one is the way that leads are generated. The way list brokers do it is they have what are called opt-in forms all over the place. They have to go out there and, in a very competitive market, try to find people who are interested in opportunities. The downside is the way they typically do it and the way they earn their compensation is based on volume. Okay? They're not in the quality business. They don't care how well they convert. They care how many leads they have to be able to sell you. So one of the tactics that they'll use to increase the number of conversions that they get is using what we call in the industry an ethical bribe. Now, an ethical bribe in itself is a very good tool, and it can be used, and we'll show you in later videos how to be able to use that for yourself to increase opt-ins when they're relevant to what it is you have to offer. What these guys will do typically is, hey, register now to win a free iPod or get a chance to win a free iPod. The person's interested in the iPod, and they're not interested necessarily in the opportunity. And they were more curious, and it's just like the food at the checkout lines. You might pick it up just because it's convenient, but it's not something you were really serious about. Okay? So number two is cost. Now here's the biggest thing that will really hurt you in your business. Because of the way that these leads are produced, because of the way that they're generated, it's like I said, it's a very competitive market. So there's a high cost in generating this lead in the first place. More importantly than that, these list brokers are in business to sell you leads. They make their money off of selling leads. So not only do you have the cost of the generation itself, but obviously these guys got to make a couple of dollars on top of that and cover their overhead. So they pass all these wonderful costs on to you. The downside to that is if you're spending $3 to $5 a piece and you're not converting on them because they're not as qualified a lead as they would like you to believe, you're going to wind up spending yourself right out of business. Now here's the misnomer that's taught all the time. Your upline, everybody, including list brokers, are going to try to tell you, just keep plugging along and someday it's all going to pay off. That's not true. If you're not generating a profit or at least break even on the front end, you're building a recipe for disaster.